Hi everybody, it's Kim. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. This is kind of an interesting one. I'm going to compare the actual cost of delivering the very same order to the very same house on Doordash versus Grubhub versus Uber Eats. This is an apples to apples comparison. Everything is identical except for the cost. This is eye-opening. I'm going to do two different deliveries. So like I said, I'm going to compare by creating the exact same order on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats. And we'll see what the final costs are. How much do they recommend as a tip? What cost information breakdown do they show to the customer? And to make this fair, I'm going to accept the default tip amount, whatever they suggest. I'm not going to change it. In fact, I'm not going to customize anything. I'm going to keep everything as the default. Okay? We're going to do Sharky's first. Before we get started, I want to ask you to please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I would really appreciate that. And also give it a thumbs up if you find it interesting. Like I said, I'm going to do two different orders. First one will be Sharky's. We'll go over the whole thing, compare those costs, and then I'm going to do another restaurant after. At Sharky's, I chose the exact same thing on each platform. The food totals are not the same for each, which I found interesting. I'll have screenshots of the totals and of the area where the suggested tip is shown. Let's see what it really costs to order this food on each platform. This is a very limited experiment. I only chose two restaurants to order from, mainly because it was almost 8 o'clock at night and restaurants were closing, so I couldn't order from a lot. So that's why I just chose two. I might do this again, like maybe during the middle of the day where I have more options. But in my area, a lot of the restaurants close kind of early. Anyways, let's move on. So here is my order. I ordered from Sharky's a half nachos with chicken, 2 Fiesta burritos with steak, and a quesadilla with chicken. Okay, so the orders are going to be the same across the board. This one came to $67.50. $67.50. Okay, this was the food. Delivery fee was $0. They had a promo right now. The fees for DoorDash were $15.02, and they suggested a $7 tip. Like I said, I did not change anything. This is the tip they suggested. Which seems a little high for them, but I don't know. I don't ever order from these platforms. I'm not sure what they typically offer as a suggested tip. Anyways, so the total would be, if we accepted the $7 tip, $89.52. Now let's move on to Grubhub. Same order. Here the food is $61.80. They have a delivery fee of $1.49. $8 for taxes and fees, and $1 benefit fee. Now, here's where it's different. We go to the tip. They suggested a $3 tip. Custom tip had nothing in here. You could type whatever you wanted in there. They also had this thing where you could donate 91 cents, I guess rounding up, if you wanted to do that. Like I said, did not change anything. I basically accepted the $3 tip, and it came to whatever it said it was. I'm sorry. I can't back up on this. 70, whatever. We're going to compare it all at the end, so you'll see. I have a comparison where we can see all the numbers side by side. Sharky's order on Uber Eats. Okay, so the same thing. This time the food came to $69.90. They had a 49-cent delivery fee, and their taxes and fees $16.07. Once again, I did not change anything. This is a tip they suggested, 15%, which is excellent. But that brought our total up to $99.12, which is kind of high for some Sharky's. But let's go ahead and compare. This is so we can look at them side by side. So here's DoorDash. The amount before tip was $81.52, including all fees. So this should be $82.52 actually, because it was a $7 tip. I'm not really sure. This is a typo here. But so $89.52 if we stuck with the suggested tip of $7. Now Grubhub. The amount before the tip was $73.09, including all fees. If we kept the $3 tip, our total would be $76.09. Quite a bit lower than Doordash. Uber Eats. The amount before the tip was $86.46, including all fees. And it would be $99.12 if we stuck with the suggested 15% tip. So this is quite a big difference here between these different platforms, right? So here, Grubhub would be the cheapest, but that's also the lowest tip. But this is only a $7 tip, and it's like $13 higher than Grubhub. So anyways, yeah, interesting. Okay, so that was the Sharky's data. Now let's go ahead and try this again, but this time with McDonald's. This is a smaller order. I just want to see what the difference would be. Once again, I placed the identical order at McDonald's. I chose the exact same things on each platform. The food cost seems to be the same for each platform here, so that was a little bit interesting. So maybe Sharky's changes their menu prices based on whatever fees they're being charged by the platforms. I'm not really sure. But for McDonald's, the costs seem to be the same. I have screenshots of the totals and of the area where the suggested tip is shown, and I will accept whatever they choose for the tip. Whatever the default is, that's what I'm going to choose. Let's see what it all really costs on each platform. Okay, so here's my order on Doordash. Big Mac meal, quarter pounder meal, and 2 packs of 40 McNuggets. The odd thing is on this, they made me choose 6 sauces for each pack of McNuggets, which was kind of annoying. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was weird. Anyways, on to the tip page. Once again, $7 tip. I did not change anything. This is the tip they suggested. This was a lower order, but they still suggested a $7 tip. So we're going to go ahead and accept it. Our total would be $59.75, including our fees and estimated tax, and once again, the $0 delivery fee. They had a promo going on, and every single restaurant that I could order from had a $0 delivery fee, except for one had like 49 cents. But like I said, a lot of these restaurants were getting ready to close, so I really couldn't order from any of them. Okay, anyways, here's my order on Grubhub. Once again, $43.15, all the same items. Now, Grubhub gave a lot of different breakdown here, so I could see what the actual fees were. So $43.15 for the food, delivery fee $3.49, other fees $5.32, tax $3.99, and look at this tip, $11.19. $67.14 would be the total if I accepted that $11.19 tip, which I am going to accept because that's what they chose. Which was weird that it was the default. So they didn't choose one of these low ones, which are typically, I think, what people are paying. And I don't know, $11.19. It's a certain percentage of this $43.15. But yeah, so anyways, that was kind of interesting random amount. I'm going to go ahead and accept it because that's what they set for me, and that was the default, but that brings our total to $67.14. Now, here's our Uber Eats order. Same food, $43.15, same amount. Uber Eats gives you some breakdown, but not as much as Grubhub. We have a $5.99 delivery fee, $12.03 in other fees, and the 15% tip, once again, is their default for $8.87. Now, I will say that on Uber Eats, the customers can adjust the tip up to 1 hour after the order is delivered. I've had the tip lowered twice, actually completely removed. They call that tip baiting, but that's a whole other video. I'm not going to go into it. There are plenty of times when the amount of the tip goes up, like probably at least half the time. And when it goes up, it usually goes up by a lot, $5, $6 more, which is great. Anyway, so this will be $70.04 for our $43 worth of McDonald's if we kept this tip. So let's go ahead and compare again. Now, Doordash, the amount before the tip was $52.75, including all the fees. And then we have the $7 tip. That'll be $59.75 for Doordash for our $43 of food. Grubhub, the amount before the tip was $55.24, including all the fees, which is not much more. But they had a much higher tip this time, $67.14 if we kept that $11.19 tip. It was weird that Grubhub chose that amount, like I said. I left it as a choice because that's what this comparison is all about. I'm just taking the defaults. So our total cost was $67.14. Now, Uber Eats. The amount before tip was $61.17, including all the fees, and $70.04 if we stuck with the 15% tip, which is what I am going to do because that's what I'm doing here on this little experiment. So as you can see here, Doordash was quite a bit lower than the other two. So, it's just interesting. It's very interesting to me how widely these costs vary. Now, I found it interesting. Hope you did too. I deliver for all these platforms, and I will say that most of the deliveries that I receive on Grubhub, most of the offers, have low tips. It's easy to tell if the customer tipped more because 90% of the offers are between like $8 and $10, and those usually have a $2 or $3 tip. So, if you're getting a $15 offer, you can pretty much guarantee that the customer tipped higher. Now, if Doordash has a 0 fees offer like they have right now, I think that lowers the total cost. Well, obviously lowers the total cost, but I don't know how much their fees normally are. Like I said, the promo was on everything I could see. So if you know what that is, put it down in the comments below. I'm interested to see what their normal delivery fee is. Anyways, with the 0 fee offer, it seems like they're the cheapest total cost to the customer. Uber Eats is the most expensive for the customer. In this very limited experiment, both cases, it was quite a bit higher than the others. But if I was ordering, I would still choose Uber Eats, even though it's most expensive. Why? Well, because they send the driver when the food is ready. In my experience, in my market, I don't know if that's the case everywhere, but I never have to wait more than a minute or two for Uber Eats deliveries when the food's usually ready when I walk in. Not so much for Doordash or Grubhub. And I feel pretty confident that my food wouldn't sit there forever waiting for a driver because I would tip well. And I think the drivers know that you tip well on Uber Eats because the amount is high. Some people say they hide tips, but I'm not sure they lowball the offers like Doordash does. So, anyways, if I was a customer buying food and having it delivered, I would use Uber Eats. But that's my own personal thing. Thanks for hanging in there and watching the whole video. Comment below and let me know what you think. I think I'm going to do this again with some different restaurants and maybe try to do it on a day where there's not a 0 delivery fee promo, because I think that kind of skews the data a little bit for Doordash. But regardless, this was interesting, and the results were not what I expected. I'm just gonna put it out there. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful holiday season. You're staying healthy, staying safe, and making lots of money. Thanks for watching.